Hello and welcome to Whimsical Wednesday, where all year long we are coloring something that starts with a W. This is February 21st, so this is our third Wednesday of the month. Next Wednesday will be our completed pages video. So this will be the last Wednesday for this month that we will be doing the W. So let's get started. We are going to be doing a page from Rory Dobner's The Ink House. And we are going to be coloring the Walrus page. Okay, here is the Walrus page, and I have zoomed you down, but here's the complete page and how it looks. So this is actually not a coloring book. This is the actual storybook that I am coloring the images in. So the background is lightly gray blue at the moment, so I may leave that for now because we're first going to concentrate on the walrus. Now I am also away from my home and all my coloring supplies, so what I do have is a couple of browns in the Neo Color 2, and I have been using a lot of Gelato's Derwent graphitint pencils and that type of thing in this book, so mainly watercolor type mediums. So we're going to continue on that page, and I have two Neo Color 2s with me. I have one called Sienna, Raw Sienna, and the other one is Van Dyke Brown. And I'm going to use a roughened surface. So this is a Tim Holtz Media Matte, and it's a little bit rough. And I just have it on a piece of plastic so that I can transport it without needing to bring my Tim Holtz Media Matte. And I've got a reusable paper towel here, and I also have a water brush. So I have looked up online, of course, what a walrus looks like, and I thought that they were more gray than brown, but they're actually, a lot of the pictures were brown. So I'm going to be doing a brown walrus, and I will put some pictures on screen so you know what I'm trying to imitate. Let's get started. As we do the walrus, we will also cards from the trivia game. I should have known that. So let's just start on our walrus first, and I'm going to put some crayon right down onto there, and then I'm going to activate it with water and then bring it to the page. And I'm going to do the lighter area. And I'm going to also grab I don't want a lot of liquid. Because this is not watercolor paper, so we will have to be a little bit cognizant of that. So I hope everybody is having a good day. I hope you're all doing well, and you're catching a little bit of time on a Wednesday to do some coloring. I hope you enjoyed the owl video that I did on Friday or Sunday. That was quite fun, and that was pre-recorded, so that was the last of my pre-recorded videos. So the rest will be videos that I have done while house sitting for my sister. We're going to let that dry now and see how that looks after it's dried. And while that's drying, I do have some distressed crayons by Tim Holtz, and I might do the bathtub in that. And if you look really close, this is the bug that is on the page right there, and every page in this book has a bug on the page that is reading. So it's kind of a hidden seek and find part of this book. So I'm not sure if they put all those bugs in the Coloring Heaven edition. So maybe if you have that edition of the Ink House, comment below and let me know. Okay, while our walrus is drying, I do also have a small set of the Faber-Castell Gold Faber Aqua pencils that I have in my travel kit. So this is the pink one. No names that I know of, but here are the swatch chart that I did on watercolor paper. So I'm going to use this pink one, and I'm going to do the flamingo here. And while I am doing this flamingo, while we are waiting for the walrus to dry, I will read my first question. So there are 4 questions on each card. And the first question is, what does the abbreviation R&B stand for in music? And R&B to me would be rhythm and blues. So that's my guess. And the answer is rhythm and blues. Good start. These are watercolor pencils, so I will activate them with a little bit of water. Okay. Our next question is, what is the name of the miniature trees grown in pots that are popular in Japan? And I would say those are bonsai trees. The word miniature and trees in Japan, to me, that's bonsai. And the answer is bonsai. Sometimes the trivia seems easy, sometimes it's very obscure, so happy with getting 2 right for a change. The next question is, what country is famous for Heineken beer? And I'm going to say Germany. I think that's correct, and the answer is the Netherlands. Okay. I did not know that. So Heineken beer is from the Netherlands. The last question on this card, for the trivia card, is, in what country was Christopher Columbus born? I'm going to say Canada, although it's probably the United States, but I'm going to say Canada. Italy. Okay, totally wrong answer. So that's 50%, 2 out of 4 for that. Christopher Columbus was born in Italy. Interesting. Our walrus here is, zoom it down a little bit, our walrus is dry enough that I can come back with some watercolor pencil now and do a bit more shading on him. And I have 2 colors of brown. So I've got a kind of a mid-brown and then a darker brown. So I'm going to use the darker brown to do some more shading on him. In the areas that there should kind of be some shadow. And his hat is black, so I don't know if I should leave this all white as it is so that it's a highlight, or if I should kind of go over it with maybe gray or something. So let me know what you would do. These are definitely student grade pencils, and I got them, got them on sale at Hobby Lobby years ago, and I got them on sale because the tin is dented a bit, so I think this whole thing was just, you know, $5 or something. So it was a good way to try these pencils, but definitely not Albert Dürer quality. Trying to think of what color I should do the tub in too. I think that we're going to do it in some kind of light pastel color. I'm going to use the distress crayons for that. I'm going to come in with the lighter brown to do some defining of his whiskers around here. And then I think I will grab a gray from my set of 12 grays. I'm going to use a light cool gray maybe. We might need a bit darker than that. Just in the shade areas. Okay. I believe I have get his monocle colored. I'm going to use the Stardust Clear Jelly Roll and just do around the monocle. I don't have glossy accents with me or anything else, so that's what it's going to be. Activating just a little bit. Okay, looking at the walrus through the camera, I can see that it's pretty light in some areas, so I'm just coloring on the side of the pencil and bringing in some, deepening up some of this area a little bit, just to get the proper hue that I'm looking for. Let me try and think about how we're going to do this guy. We might have to do him with some light blue and some grays to because he is a polar bear. So polar bear and a walrus in a wash tub. Who would have thought? Okay, well, we work a little bit on this polar bear. I'm going to use a little bit of the blue that we had up here, so I'm just going to do a little bit of blue, especially in the area where he's coming out of the water. Then we'll have gray elsewhere. And the next trivia question, we'll start with that, and that is, first question is, how many cents are there in €1? I would say 100. I mean, it's a euro would be equivalent to $1, so I think there's 100 cents in $1, so that's what I'm going to go with. And the answer is 100. Logical to me, so that's good. Okay, then we'll wait for that to dry. That's the only problem with working watercolors on non-watercolor paper, is that you do something and then you have to wait for it to dry because you don't want to rip up the paper. Let's move on to the wash tub, I think. Okay, I have got a couple of post-it notes here to help mask off the wash tub area or the bathtub that they're in. I am going to be using milled lavender distressed crayon, scribbled on, and then a dry brush, and I'm just going to put a layer on top of this, and while I am doing that, we will finish off this next couple of questions. This is question number 2 on our I should have known that trivia card, and question number 2 is, what do you call a person who generously donates large sums of money to charities? So we're talking about a person. So what do you call a person who generously donates large sums of money to charities? And that is called, I call them philanthropists. So pretty sure that's that answer. Now this bottom rung, I think I'm going to grab an eraser. Hang on. So this bottom area here, it looks like it's a bit of a platform, so it'll be actually a different color than the pink. So I'm just doing the wash tub itself in the pink color. I like this color because it's just nice and light. Permanent once dry is a really nice application. It's pretty easy. Okay, it'll just be nice and subtle. I mean, it is a walrus in a bathtub, so if bathtub wants to be pink, it's gonna be pink. Let me speed the camera up while I finish off this milled lavender. Again is the color. Okay. And just like that, we have a completed pink bathtub. Okay, I'm going to work a little bit on the floor, and we are going to continue with the distressed crayons, and I'm going to be using weathered wood, and it is kind of a blue, light blue color. I only have one brush with me, unless I get to a Dollar Tree. That's the only brush I have. It's darker than I thought it would be. That's certainly not the same color as the cap, so that's kind of interesting. Let me do the next question, which is, how big is the population of the US? So that's the United States, the USA. Let's see, we had population of China last week, and so I know it's not as big as that. I'm gonna say 3 billion, maybe? We'll go with 3 billion. No, that's probably too much, or I have no idea. I'm not good. The answer is 340 million. Okay, so lots less than I thought. Frankly, I don't think I know what the population of my own country is, so answer below if you got that question, of course, but if you know the population of your own country, be interested to know how many people actually know that information. Let me buff this out a little bit more, and I shall be right back. Just finishing off this back portion of the tub, and my brush is a little bit kind of too big for this area. It's also stained with blue at the moment, and I don't have time to go wash it. So I'm using a Q-tip or cotton bud, and just putting a bit of product on it and then smushing it around. It's not going great, but it's working in a pinch, and I guess it's one way to get into these tiny, tiny areas when you don't have that size brush. So that's what I'm doing right here, and fixing any small areas that I missed. And this guy is dry, so we can come back in with the Blick Studio grays. So let me zoom out, and you can take a quick look how the whole page is doing. Okay, here's a zoomed out picture, and this is how it's looking so far. And this side has kind of a it's the octopus that I did previously, and it has a little bit of the same kind of tones of color. It's teal and peach kind of on this side, so these colors don't clash, they don't match, but they are along the same tones, so I think it's working out. Okay, while I work on, I'm using some cool grays from the Blick Studio set, Cool Gray 1, 3, and 5, and I'm going to continue to work a little bit on this polar bear. And I also have, I'm hoping this is a clear glaze, and I'm going to do his monocle in clear, and then hopefully I will color these bubbles of water, multiple colors, and then I'm going to color on top of them with clear and see how that looks. Because I don't have all of my supplies with me, so I'm kind of ad-libbing. So that's the plan. And while I'm working on this guy here, I will also, I do have the Chinese white, so I just remembered that I have that. So I'll grab that as well, and I'll do kind of the gray in the shadow areas, and then we'll use the Chinese white also on this polar bear, since he is a white kind of polar bear. But yeah, I'll do a little bit of shading with this, the cool grays. And I'll read you the last question in our I Should Have Known That trivia. And the last question for today's video, so we'll do two cards today. And it is, do you set the clock forward or back 1 hour when shifting to daylight savings time? And I'm not sure if you have daylight savings time where you live. We do in Alberta in Canada. So the question is, do you set the clocks forward or back 1 hour when shifting to daylight saving time? And we spring forward an hour in the spring, and we fall back an hour in the fall. So I'm going to say spring forward 1 hour. And the answer is forward. Okay, so out of those 4 questions, I got 3 answers correct. 1 answer wrong, being the population of the United States. And on my first 2 out of 4 there, so out of the 8, I got 5. Okay, those are the questions for today. I will continue working on this walrus here. I think the walrus is pretty much done. I will come in now with his, fill this monocle in a bit. It'll be a little bit more reflective. And I will also do some coloring on the bubbles. All right, I hope you're having a colorful and creative week. Thank you so much for joining me on this Wednesday. Wednesday videos are shorter, and I hope to see you Sunday, where we will be doing our flags of the world for February 2024. And then next Wednesday, we will be having my completed pages video. So I hope to see you again very soon. And until then, like I said, I hope you're having a colorful and creative week. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.